Vinay here, and I have got Ankita with me here today, one of my clients who's been with us for about 4 months, I would say. She's hopped on the hot seat to kind of share her journey on how things are going and stuff. And I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Ankita. I'm 28 years old. I work in Wix as a store planning manager, so I design refits and new stores. As you can tell, I have a major obsession with reading, so that takes a part of my life massively. And I like going out, seeing friends, like being social, and yeah, I have a massive sweet tooth.
Yeah, you definitely have a massive sweet tooth. Um, what she's not telling you is that she's getting married this year as well. So, something that she's got something to look forward to. She's got crazy amount of hens, shall I say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
The
and it's
most
keeping
I've
her
thought of.
busy. But again, she's doing all that. She's still got a wedding to look forward to, and she's currently smashing her goals and stuff. So, we'll get into that in a bit. But I just wanted to ask you, like, yes, you've done an introduction about yourself and stuff, but why did you want to do what you're doing, right? You didn't join the program, or as in before you joined the program, you wasn't, I would say you're not someone who was looking to join the program, was joining to say, I want to lose 15 to 20 kgs, Vinay. But you joined up. What were your challenges, or why did you want to change in life?
So I've been in sort of the fitness and working out game for quite a while, for like 10, 15 years. I've been doing it religiously. But I think the main thing with me is after COVID, sort of starting to work from home, it was much harder to get the daily movements in. So I found that, yes, with fitness, I was getting sort of more stamina. I was feeling like I was healthier, but I wasn't losing the weight, which was the
Okay.
most difficult part for me. And especially as when I mentioned with the wedding coming up, you want to feel your best, you want to feel confident. And I didn't feel like I felt like that at that moment.
And how do you feel now? Like, if you're, just compare, if you were to give me an average, what a day in your life look like before even joining Affinity?
So, uh, day like before, so as I work 5 days a week from home, so I'd just wake up, have my morning coffee about 1 to 2 o'clock. I'd start getting hungry. I think, okay, what am I going to eat? Spend 20, 30 minutes deciding what do I want, sit there in that cycle, and then realize I've only got a little bit of time left. So I'd find the easiest and quickest thing to eat, which obviously wouldn't be the healthiest. And it was really draining. The decision making was really hard,
Yeah.
and this I'd go over the same thing again during dinner. So it was a constant battle with myself, and no matter how much I slept, no matter what I did, I always would wake up feeling tired.
Because you're quite active, right? You still do the boot camps, as you said, you do boot camps a couple of times a week.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, obviously, you try to do the walks where you can and stuff. So
Yeah.
I guess energy was lacking. And would you say your food on point? Yes, I know you're making random things, but would you say you're eating maintenance? Were you eating more than we meant to be? Were you making the smart choices, or were you going for the standard, pack your crepes, chocolate, nasto, time when the month comes, and then you're like, what, I'm just gonna eat what I want to eat and then deal with it later.
I think after joining the program, I definitely realized that I was eating at maintenance because I wasn't gaining any weight. So it wasn't like I was eating loads of that sort of unhealthy stuff. So as the wedding is coming up, I was trying to eat healthier, trying to eat more salads and things like that. But
Yeah.
obviously it didn't account for everything that I was eating. So that's what was kind of the click for me.
Hmm. And would you say, like, obviously, you know, as you say, I think your job involves planning and stuff, right? You're going to do a lot of planning. Would you say you had your life planned out in terms of health and fitness? And yes, you're quite active, but did you have a game plan every day you woke up in the morning? Okay, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Food's going to be this. Did you have that, or was that like a backseat?
It was definitely a backseat. So I always thought I was the type of person that was kind of like an intuitive eater. So
Hmm.
I think like during the day, oh, I'm craving this, I need to have this, otherwise I won't feel satisfied. I think that was the main thing that I thought I was, which clearly isn't at all. But yeah, I guess you're right in saying that, yeah, in my day-to-day job I am a planner, but in my life I didn't really plan ahead in those kind of things.
Yeah, it happens a lot. We see a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, a lot of people do certain things for a living. But again, it's work because your work tells you to do something. Everyone plans everything in a calendar, right? everyone's work calendar, my work calendar is busy, Nick's calendar is busy, Jamie's calendar is busy, everyone's busy. But if we don't plan it out,
Mhm.
then we'll be like, scratching like our heads doing what. But it's the same thing, I believe, is if your work told you to do something on your calendar, I don't know,
Mhm.
let's say tomorrow morning your work says, you know what, from tomorrow you're no longer starting at 9, you're gonna be starting at 8 o'clock, and that's what it's gonna be for the whole company. You do it. You might
Yeah.
argue for 1 or 2 days, but you do it because it's your
Mhm.
job on the line. But if I told you or someone told you, you know what, I need you to wake up an hour early so you can get a workout in, yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's a lot of mindset and people just flog it off a bit. But if you actually put your mind to it and you did it, you realize how much of a difference it does make. Um,
Yes.
and following on that, right, where would you say you are now after joining the program, being on it for about 4 months or so? And if you're going to compare a normal day to your life before to a normal day now, in terms of what happened.
Feel like it's completely different. So every Monday, I'll plan out in the entire week what I'm going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I always found now as well. So before I used to eat between 1 and 2, but now that I
Hmm.
know what I'm going to eat for lunch, I'll always eat a bit earlier. So I'm not waiting till I'm completely starving or really hungry and I need to eat right now. So I
Mm.
know what I'm going to be eating. The weekend, I've done my shopping of what I've planned for in the week. Even though I'm on lower calorie, I feel like I've had more energy than I've ever had in my entire life. And that's saying something in regards to sort of the stress and the busyness with the wedding planning. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm more able to do better in my work life, in personal life, wedding planning, everything.
And how would you say, like, obviously, how do you feel like when you look at yourself, put clothes on? How do you feel? I know you had a pre-shoot as well, so like, how do you feel in yourself now, looking at yourself? Because you joined mainly to accomplish that goal, because you're quite fit anyway, but you wanted to tone up, drop a dress size maybe, and just look the best you can and feel the best you can for the wedding, which is not far now.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit crazy. I think it's still hard for it to sink in with me. So every time I put on clothes, I think, wait, why is this not fitting? So I speak to my fiance and he'll be like, well, obviously you've lost so much weight, it's not going to fit you. And
Mm.
every time I go through that cycle thinking, wow, like look where I am now, and it's only been sort of just under 4 months, and it's quite crazy to me because obviously I came in here thinking by the end of 6 months, I want to lose, let's say, minimum 5 kilos. Because as you mentioned, I didn't want to lose too much. I wanted to more tone up and
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, it's quite amazing, honestly. And I feel like now that it shows with everyone seeing as well, I always get the comments, "Oh my God, like you look so different. It's amazing. You look like happier as well."
Yeah. And in terms you said, you had a kind of mindset of when you joined, you had a certain amount of kgs you want to lose, 6 months you want to do like 5 kgs or something. Do you think you've surpassed that in a short period of time?
Definitely, I think when I got to about 3 months in, I was already 4.5 kilos down.
Hmm.
And that was quite surprising to me because obviously I keep getting the comments of everyone, oh, you don't need to lose that much weight, you don't need
Yeah.
to do this, you don't need to do that. But for me, it was a personal thing. And I think I'm really excited to see like how I would get to, or what would be like at the end of the 6 months.
Yeah. Again, it's like, it's 6 months yeah, you've invested in, right?
Yeah.
Um, and as any investment, it takes time. In thinking about as in on that point of investment, would you say that, nowadays, obviously with the cost of living and everything, right? We understand price comes in play. Did you ever
Mhm.
think before joining as well, like, I'm joining a program, you had the first call with Nick, he told you the price, and were you like, I'm in an R-ing of like, you know what, shall I not? And obviously you did take the jump in and you did do it. Now thinking back to it, would you then say, you know what, was it worth it? Was it worth the investment that you've kind of spent so far?
I would 100% say it was worth it because it's something you can't put a price on, your own health, your own longevity of how long you're going to live, how, let's say, like 50 years down the line, this is going to help you live a better life even now.
Hmm.
So I don't think a price can be kind of put on that.
And yeah, 100%. Like a lot of people just, I hear a lot of people say the same thing, like especially with kids and stuff. Oh, we'll do
Mhm.
anything for the kids. We'll do like, people go crazy or die for the kids. I'm like, well, that's not the aim. The aim of the game is you want to live for your kids earlier,
Yeah,
show them the right way. And again, quite young you are, you're gonna still looking for, you're still getting married, you're gonna have kids in the future, hopefully. And if you have your life set from now, then the idea is that pass that on
Mhm.
to your kids. And I'm guessing by you doing it, you live in a household with mom and dad. I'm sure they've noticed it, they've made changes in their lifestyle or not.
Mhm. Oh, definitely. So as when I started this, I found that my mum sort of started changing how she eats. My fiance, whenever I'd go around to his, he loves crisp. I haven't seen him eat crisp since I've been with him. So
It's good,
it's
right?
yeah, it's just strange because obviously I'm not telling them to do it, but they're just watching me and seeing what I'm doing, and they're seeing that like I said, I have a massive sweet tooth. Before I wouldn't be able to have a meal without having anything sweet, and I've gone weeks and weeks without it. Not because I can't have it, it's because I've chosen not to have it. So I think they're seeing sort of those changes and realizing that they can kind of do the same.
Would you say you had a sweet tooth? Would you say you still have one? Or is it just because it was there, you had it? It's just, it's there, you had it. Whereas now it's there, yes, it's still there, but you're more cautious about your health choices, your life choices. Obviously, I know you're looking for the wedding and stuff, so you're very focused on it, but other people say, oh, I'm hungry. And then,
Mhm.
oh, I haven't had dinner, and like 8 o'clock I was watching TV, I was hungry, so I had like a packet of crisps or a couple of peanuts. I'm like, well, were you really hungry? Or were
Mhm.
you bored? Because if you're really hungry, you would have had carrot sticks, cucumbers. If I gave you raw broccoli, you would have eaten it. Oh no, I don't fancy that. Well, you're not really
Yeah.
hungry, are you? You just, in my opinion, you're just bored because you're bored and
Mhm.
it's just there, so you're gonna have that. Do you
Yeah.
have those kind of moments that it's food just there, staring you, and you're just gonna have it based on that fact that you have quite a social life, like you're quite active socially, because
Yeah.
every weekend you're either your fiance's wedding planning or out with mates and stuff, and lately you've had a hen, you're going on another one, you got another one coming up, so it's like quite a
Yeah.
lot of busyness. So would you then say that that's kind of put you off track, or are you still on track?
I think it's definitely kept you on track because I have been sort of very mindful during the hens and all the outings and going on. It's not like there's a thing that my fiance says is it's say there's an item of food, he'll say, "Oh, you can't have that." So I
Mhm.
keep correcting him saying, "I know I can have it. I'm just choosing not to have it."
Yeah,
So for example, like if I'm going out for dinner, I'll have, let's say I'm going for Indian, and there's like all obviously we know that Indian food is very high in calories and things like that. So I will still have some. I'll still have maybe a bit of paneer and mushrooms, but I'll have a salad on the side. So
yeah.
to me, it doesn't feel like I'm stopping myself from having it. I'm just being very mindful of what I'm having. And back to the point where you said about like having the sweet stuff, uh, usually like day to day now, if I'm feeling like I want something sweet, I'll have fruit or something like that to satisfy that craving. And if I've had that and it still doesn't feel like it, I'll have like the tiniest piece of chocolate. So it feels like I've had something. I don't need to indulge. I don't need to have too much.
Which is good, right? It's just mindful. Once you've controlled your mind and you kind of just have it, and it's like a lot of people might have told you in the start, oh, don't worry, have a cheat day, or do you get, or when you tell
Yeah.
them, you're on a program, or do you have a cheat day? I tell everyone I work with, every day is a cheat day, technically
Mhm.
speaking, because with us, you're not really grounded to say, here you go, Ankita, this is your week one. We've given you a 7-day meal plan. Everything on the
Mhm.
meal plan is what you're gonna eat, and that's it. Which some people do, some people don't. Whereas in with you, you've been like, okay, fine. I know I need to eat. We left the choice to you because you live in a household, Gujarati food, you're the standard rotli shark. And we don't want everyone to kind of turn their life upside down. So would you say that you, since joining, then have had to alter your life or in terms of food and stuff, go out your way to say, you know what, I need to go buy this because when they told me, or I need to do this, or is it still the same food you're eating? It's just a different mindset on it now.
So with me, previously, it was more about convenience. So every evening I'd eat the Rodley Shark because I know my mum's made it and it's there and it's ready for me. So now it has been slightly different where I've decided to sort of obviously make my own meals and plan ahead as well. So in the week I'll make sort of batch of overnight oats and things like that. But it's things I would still normally eat day to day. It's not like I've had to completely find new recipes or find completely different ways of eating. So to me, it doesn't feel like it's exhausting or every week I have to go shopping, I have to buy this, this, and
Yeah.
this.
But I think for you, a big game changer for you has been that every Sunday or something, I get a little screenshot of your spreadsheet. You know, it's got all the stuff on it. It's even got your workout days when you're gonna boot camp, and it's got like a plan. This is your plan for the week, and you have it. You've sent it to me for accountability. So if something changes, then we're like, well, hold up. You told me that you're going out, or like I think your latest one had like two question marks. I now know that when you put that, it's like maybe she's going out, and on a weekly check-in, she'll put that in. So I think from my side, I think a lot of things have changed, which for you is like you've just learned how to manage your time.
Yeah.
Um, because you were doing the right things before. It's just you wasn't fully doing them because you still had the right mindset of being fit. Boot camp, food was okay. You still having overnight oats and stuff. But as you said, you're maintaining and there was no structure to life. Whereas now I feel that you have a structure to life. You're going to wake up. I need to do this. My breakfast is ready. Lunch is this. Dinner's that. And then I'm going
Yeah.
out for. So I think that's quite helped. And following on from that, if you were to give like your biggest learning, like what's been your biggest learning like so far?
I think with me, it's definitely been the food diary that I've been making. Like as I said before, I thought I was an intuitive eater. I thought in the moment it's what I need to eat. Otherwise, I won't want to eat anything else. But
Yeah.
it's been so helpful. It's taken such a load off me to know that okay, this is what I'm eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't have to worry about that. The ingredients and everything is right there in the house. It's helped me sort of, as you say, when I make my plan for the week, it's sort of evolved over the weeks. Sort of added in the amount of protein in the foods. I've added in the socials and also my workout days. So as you said, it's like scheduling a meeting with myself. So I've written so Monday, Wednesday I'm going boot camp. Tuesday I'm doing my core workout. So I know if I get those early wins in the week, I don't have to think towards the end of the week, oh wait, I haven't done my core workout. I have to schedule it in somewhere when it's getting really busy. So that's been a massive, massive win for me. And
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to kind of do something like that. I was really apprehensive at first, thinking, how am I going to plan my food for the week? That's not going to work for me. But it's like second nature to me now. And I feel like when I come to the day, because I do my plans either Sunday or Monday. So when I get to that day and I think, okay, I haven't got the plan for that day, it's sort of like there's like a mini panic. And I
Yeah.
think, oh my God, I need to know what I'm having today. So I need to quickly do it.
Which is good, like it's a planning. But now you can say that you plan for work, you plan for life as well. You do both now, which is quite good.
Yeah.
But again, there are days where it happens to everyone, happens to us as well. Lack of motivation. You kind of wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, can't be
Mhm.
bothered. And you're not really up for it. Yes, you've got a plan, you know what to do. Like it happens to me as well. Like sometimes I wake up, I'm just overtired, and I gotta wake up, rush school, and I've got like things happening, and I'm like, oh, I gotta these things. But what is for you that when you're in that moment, lack of motivation, struggling, what do you do then? What have you done like at those times that has
So
kept you going?
previously, I used to go boot camp every Monday, Wednesday. Most of the weeks, I'd sort of get to, so I need to leave the house at 6:30. I'd get to about 6 o'clock and I'd question myself. I question everyone. Do you think I should go? Should I not go? And then that cycle would run for the next 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
now it's a non-negotiable for me. Every Monday and Wednesday I'm going, unless I'm severely ill,
Hmm.
or I know, obviously you know your own body, you know when you can push yourself. And if I know that I literally physically cannot do this, then I won't do it. But every single week, I've gone minimum twice a week. Um, the sort of mindset I have is that it's regardless, if you're not feeling your 100%, even turning up and doing 50% of what you usually do is still something. So go there, after that session, you're going to feel much better. You're going to feel happier and you're going to feel more satisfied that you've actually done it. And I think I use the mindset with the food is always going to be there. If there's a piece of cake in front of me right now, the cake is my favorite food. If it's in front of me right now, I don't have to eat it. 2 months down the line, I can go and buy one and have it. And that's the mindset I think that's helped me a lot, especially with all these socials going on, birthdays, things like that. But if also, I don't need to restrict myself that much. If I really want it, I can have a tiny piece. I don't have to have a massive piece. So I think that's what's helped me
That's it.
sort
It's
of
like really good at that point you said that that if the food is there and you're gonna have it, you can have it. I literally tell every client I have or messages me, oh, when I'm doing this, I'm with my cousin's house. I don't know what's gonna happen. They said they're gonna make some, samosa, kachori. What do I do? I'm like, yes, I understand, and you need to understand that you might not control the food that is in front of you. I get that, but you're 100% in control of how much of that food you eat and how
yeah.
much of you decide to eat. No one's holding a gun to your head. Yes, you might feel that, oh, if I go to my master's house, if I say no, they might feel rude that I'm not eating. 1 day or 2 days when you go, it'll happen. They'll get used to it.
Mhm.
It's your health, and you decide on what to do. And I think a lot of people get let down there. As you said,
Yeah.
go to a social, do this thing. Oh, when I'm going to a birthday, I want to have a cake. They gave me a big piece, I had to finish it because I don't want to feel like, I don't want to waste food. I'm like, if I give you loads of food, doesn't mean you eat all of it.
Yeah.
It's just mindset. Like literally, just say no. It is what it is. Stick to your guns, and you know it'll work out, which you've been doing, which is really,
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah, I've had the same thing, sort of having going around to fiancés and stuff like that. At the beginning, I felt really awkward, like bringing my own food and things like that, thinking is it going to feel rude and things like that. But now I just honestly, if I know I'm going over his massies or anything are coming over, I take my own food with me just in case because I don't know what they're going to make. I even take my food scales, everything just to measure. And to me,
Mm.
it's not embarrassing. It's fine. They know what I'm doing and they're not sort of they're very helpful towards it.
I think more people are more afraid of what other people would think
Yeah,
or why they think, oh, well, that's so weird. Why are you bringing scales? What are you doing? Like,
yeah,
I remember when I first started, like, 5 years ago and stuff, like, I was putting stuff on the scale. My dad's like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
mm,
what's wrong with you? Now
yeah,
it's like, I still use it and don't ask me a question. Now it's just like, now he tells other people, yeah, yeah, don't worry about him. Like, he'll just do his own thing. So it's
yeah.
weird. It's just people worry about, like, what everyone's going to think, especially when you go out as well.
Mhm.
Especially if you're someone who's going out and eating quite a bit, now going out and then cutting down, people are like, well, what's wrong with you? Because they will no
Mhm.
one no naturally assume that, you know what, Vinay will finish it or Ankita will finish it, don't
Yeah.
worry. Now you don't, you're like, well, I'm done. They're like, well, something's wrong with you. But
Yeah.
eventually you go out once or twice, they change their mind, right?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, based on that, the last questions for you, to round this up. If you were to give 3 tips to someone who's either
Mhm.
demotivated or either someone who's like, in the same position as you, maybe borderline thinking, should I do it? Should I jump into a program? Should I go for an online PT or online fitness coach or anything like that? Or, just on the borderline saying, I know I don't want to do this. I'll do it like a week later or a month later, or I'll join later. What would your 3 tips to those people be?
I definitely say the first one is as we've mentioned before, sort of do it for yourself, do it for your longevity, do it for your health. Do you know there's a saying that you can't fill someone else's cup until if your cup is empty. So it's you need to if you have kids, family, things like that, you need to be okay within yourself to be able to be there for everyone around you. So I think that is the biggest motivation and the biggest thing that I've had for myself. I'm not doing my 10K because you've told me to do it. I'm doing it for myself. I think that's the very big thing I'd say. The second thing I'd say is don't think of it as a diet because social media, everything, there's diets, the word keeps going around and
Yeah.
it's sort of seen as a bit of a negative that, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And a diet, it's classed on, okay, you do it for, let's say, 6 months and then you stop doing it. Think of it as a sort of better lifestyle that's going to make you live better, healthier. And as we've mentioned, you don't need to change your meals entirely. You don't need to change like for me, living in an Indian household, I didn't need to change everything I'm eating. You just make small changes here and there. Sort of if you're gonna have if let's say you're gonna have rotli sark, don't have like 2 rotlis, have a salad on the side, have some
Mhm.
yogurt and things like that. So it doesn't feel like you're changing the entire thing.
Which is really
And
good, right?
the
Yeah. Just sorry, gone.
And the last one I'll say is that if you're sort of thinking to do this process, it will feel really overwhelming at first. You know, you've got to start doing workouts, steps, food's different. I would definitely say is don't try and change your entire life in the beginning in one go. Take things slowly, maybe even start by eating a little bit healthier for a few days. Start doing more steps, start working out and things like that. Don't try and change it all in one go because I think you'll feel really burnt out and really overwhelmed in the beginning. So when I started in the first sort of week, I decided, okay, I'm going to start eating a little bit better this week. And then next week, it was like, okay, I'm going to start doing more steps this week. So slowly incorporating those things in because it is a long road. It's 6 months, even though it does fly by, it is a long and slow process and it does get quite boring. But you've got to be patient. You've got to trust the process because, as you see, even on the scales, you don't get drops every single day. Some days it might go higher. If you continue to trust the process, you'll see that gradually it does decrease over time.
100%. I know I said this was the last question, but just because you touched on that point, and you mentioned it that, it does feel overwhelming at times because when you do join, you join a program, obviously you're going to be given tasks to do, and we want you to excel in everything, so we'll give you things to do. And I remember with yourself as well, as you said, you're doing boot camps, you're doing all these things, so we did make sure that yes, as you said, we sorted your food out first, then we kind of tackled workouts was almost to the end because I knew you were doing boot camp already. Based on that, right? Just a quick, literally, if you can brief me up, you already do boot camp, which you're quite
Yeah.
active on, and then you
Mhm.
decide to join, us online coaching. What would you think the difference is there, and what made you pick an online coach rather than going for someone who's gym based and being in front of you in a PT?
I think more so because I've been going boot camp for over a year and a half. I like that routine. It's the people I go with. I wouldn't want to sort of lose that. And for me, it was the kind of flexibility that those workouts that you put for us on True Coach. As I've got like a mini home gym at home, I'm able to do it myself. So that was really helpful for me. So let's say on a day that I haven't gone to boot camp because it's only scheduled on 2 days, or on
Yeah.
another day, I could do that workout myself.
And before joining us, did you look at going down the route of getting a PT, like, one to one, or was it always been like, mindset? Because some people look at it, some people have PTs before, and then they're, borderline say, should I join someone who's fully online, right? Um,
Mhm.
'Cause it is scary, right? Because you're not going to really see me face to face
Yeah.
sometimes. It's all online based. Would you see you were nervous about that moment, or you're just like, if you were nervous, just go into it. And how do you find it now, being 4 months into it with an online coach?
I think at first it is quite sort of daunting. It's online. You haven't met this person. You don't know how it's going to be. You sort of feel like if you have someone face to face, will it be easier? Will it be not? But since from then thinking that to now, it's been completely different. So like I see you as my friend. I see you like I have my meals. I send it over to you. It's like a routine for me now. We have our sort of monthly catch up calls, seeing how it's going. It's been really, really helpful. And I think even with people that have like sort of a busier lifestyle, it's much easier to have an online coach because they're on WhatsApp, they're there 24/7 if you need anything. But maybe with a PT, it will be a little bit different.
Yeah. Obviously, everyone's gonna have different opinions and stuff, which is fine.
Yeah,
But in my opinion, as you said, right, it's a 24-hour thing. Yes, you might message me 10 o'clock at night. I might not reply to you there and then, but
yeah,
nothing you're doing is life and death. So it's not like,
yeah.
I mean, I need to answer now. If
Hmm.
so, as soon as I see it the next morning or something, you get a reply, and we deal with it, right? And what
Yeah.
I find with personally is having been with a PT before and stuff, you got the PT for an hour, 45 minutes
Hmm.
at the gym. What about the 23 hours afterwards?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, some of them do meal plans, and which is fine, good, which is good. I'm not knocking anyone off, but they do meal plans and stuff. But then if they're busy with another client on the floor, they can't really like message and do that. And that's I feel the difference is where it's more one to one. Um, you've got advice on what you need it for. On a monthly
Yeah.
catch up, we go through like any holidays. Like in your case, we've been going through the hens and stuff. How you're going to
Hmm.
tackle them. Even when you're on a hen, I'll pop in and say, hey, make sure like everything's going
Yeah.
okay. It's just that constant reminder. Shit, someone's knocking
Hmm.
on my door. There's someone there who's
Yeah.
like basically keep an eye on things if things did
Hmm.
go south. And then if it did go, as long as you're honest about it, we bring it back down to, where it is, right? Would you say you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's as you said, it's not life and death. And because we have this sort of weekly forms that we fill in of like, okay, I've got these socials before, like 5 days before that social has even happened, I know through you and the help you've provided that what I'm going to do to tackle that day. So I don't need to message you saying, okay, I'm going literally in a few hours. What do I do? Everything is planned ahead. So I already know what I'm doing.
And again, even if it did happen last minute, again, we've set you up with like rules and stuff, right?
Yeah,
If you do go out, this is what you do, follow it. And like I said, it's all about mindset. Weight loss is more here than anywhere else, I feel. And
definitely.
if you get that locked down and you don't let anyone push you around or bully you around, I think you'll be fine. Like honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's good catching up with you. Um,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we wish wedding soon. You get to your goal and
Yeah,
look stunning.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and you can watch this on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.